Hey, Chrome Content Publications followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners. Thank you for tuning in with us, clicking on my live tonight to see what it is I have to say in my nightly live chat today, okay? Because I got some great topics, great discussion topics that have absolutely nothing to do with publications, actually, in books and publishing and literary agents and the arts. We're going to be talking about some more realistic topics tonight. So I hope y'all are ready to dive in, dive in, dive in. Thank y'all for joining me. I think I'm going to let the stream get a little more people up in here real quick before we get started, okay? Yes, because I have some topics. Everybody's talking about the aliens. If y'all saw the title of this stream, y'all saw that. I do want to talk about the aliens that were supposedly reported to the police recently in these people's backyard. They say they've seen creatures. Y'all know we got to cover that. Anybody know Arthur publisher Miss Whitney? We definitely got to cover that story because I just want to hear some of y'all opinions too and just kind of put some of mine out there in the universe about the whole situation because I ain't gonna even get I wanna stay on topic here. And then y'all saw I kind of want to talk about the submarine story too. So unfortunate. But I'm gonna use these stories as teaching moments for real, or to encourage us to look at them as teaching moments, as human beings as a whole, okay? Because some deaths to me are preventable, some aren't. I just feel like the only way we eventually get around to, preventing deaths that don't have to, like, come on, y'all. We're people are dropping like flies over violence as it is, over, you know what I'm saying, obesity and heart attacks and other things we already have going on. And a lot of those things can be prevented too. But we're talking about people who just, the perfect example, right after everything was opened back up after the pandemic, what people do, run to go out on vacation, to be adventurous. They decided they wanted to be more adventurous than ever, actually, because they had been locked down for what, half a year or more, almost a year in some places. They were at stay-at-home orders and things like this. So like it's understandable. But I could have sworn in the past year, just because I haven't been on live and coming to the podcast to bring my opinions does not mean I have not still been observing and just, paying attention and recollecting on what's been going on. And it's only June of 2023. And I mean across the world, it's these people are traveling overseas, guys. And I don't want to just say Black people. But those are the stories that we're seeing more prominent. Black people going to different countries for these tourist vacations or to hang out with their friends and stuff. They don't make it back home alive. Rest in peace, Shanquilla Robinson. This is happening too free. And her story was not the only one. I hope y'all remembered it, coming from my channel. Her story was not the only one. Between the latter of 2022 to now of Black people going to another country and just acting a fool when they get out there and they're supposed to be going to have a good time. I've been observing and looking at some things, before you can find a solution to any problem, we first have to observe the problem. It is what it is. We got to observe that problem, see if it's really a problem, see what's going on, see how people are being affected, from that before we start talking about solutions. So tonight, I just want to kind of talk on these three topics I brought up. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. We are Crown Content Publications. We're publishing and marketing meat. And we are trying to keep the vision and the mission of assisting freelance writers, freelance entrepreneurs, keeping their visions alive. And we do that through our content management services, our promotional services, and also our grant and business funding services, okay, for entrepreneurs and writers. So that's what we do. That's who we are. I am Arthur podcaster, Miss Whitney. You know, it's nice to meet everybody. You know what I mean? I'm gonna still keep waiting on people to come on in here though. You know. Yeah. So I want to talk about the aliens. I want to talk about Miss Jackie O. I definitely want to talk about Miss Torie Bowie on my live tonight, and also the alien situation. It just sounds crazy saying it, but yeah, guys, we have an alien situation. More and more every day, if y'all are following those threads, those news feeds about aliens in general, it's like more and more information. It's like, you know, more and more reports, more and more people are coming out talking about the night they seen what their experience. I always did believe, though, y'all, that when people would give those abduction stories, I'm only 31, but in my time of living, once I was able to understand and even kind of comprehend that there might be other entities and beings in the world, from day one, I believed it, which was probably at 14, 15 years old. Like, we don't have to call it a conspiracy. I was never conspiracy that young, but it was something about it. Like, from the first time, you know, I was never like a Star Wars, Star Trek. Come on now. I never liked space movies at all. And I'm sorry to the Star Wars lovers out there. But like, I was never into space stuff unless it was Space Jam. Space Jam was in my town. That was a cool movie. But outside of that, I was always intrigued with the thought or the idea that there could be other beings, you know, amongst us, you know, since an early age. So that is what that is. That's my opinion on it. What do y'all think? Are aliens real? I mean, I don't know. I feel like anybody's still saying it at this point. Just, you know, they just don't want to believe it. They're just stuck in their way at this point. There's been so many pictures and videos taken of flying saucers. You don't have to call them aliens, extraterrestrials, but there's something out there. and just like that story, I know there's been sightings all over the globe, but y'all think about it, like more prominent in America, where it seems like there all these sightings, even this one that was on the news recently, I believe it was Nevada. Seem like mountainous areas or large bodies of water. I mean, aliens come wherever they want to, but I mean, that was that. Them people called the police, y'all. They said they seen aliens in their backyard. If you haven't checked that story out, I advise y'all to go do it. This was just 3 weeks ago. They described, I believe the people that called 911 could barely talk English. And it was crazy. They were describing these beings with big eyes, and they were tall, looked like 9 feet tall. What always get me about the aliens and everything, though, is like nobody ever gets a picture. Like, I guess they be in so much shock. Like, we never get like an official picture of it, which if I seen it in my backyard too, a picture probably be the last thing on my mind. But that's what that is. But we'll get to that story in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of trying to give people time to come on in the chat with me here as we discuss these 3 topics. Miss Torie Bowie, rest in peace, Miss Torie Bowie. If you don't know who Miss Torie Bowie is, Black women like myself across the globe right now are definitely saying her name. Actually, what just happened to Miss Torie Bowie is evoking emotions. The emotions of ethnic women across the globe right now. Okay, y'all? And we're going to talk about why. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in because I'm not going to be on live all night. I'm just not. But we're going to have this topic. I hate that I've been on for like 7 minutes now. Ain't nobody in here yet, but especially about this topic. And that's exactly where I'm finna come from with my opinion about her story. It does seem like, you know, around the same time this news come out about Miss Jackie O. Not that her death was any less relevant. Okay? This light-skinned, beautiful, plastic surgery all over her body doll, because she was a beautiful lady, Miss Jackie O was. But I look at that, and then I just was like, okay, why it seem like everybody, every podcaster, every media source, everybody was talking about what happened and what DC Fly his family might be going through during the Jackie O story. And during her passing and that time. And once again, from the Crown Content family, Crown Content Publications family YouTube channel, we send our condolences. I mean, like I say, death is not good either way you look at it. But I saw that with her. Both of these ladies passed around the same time, and we're going to talk about how both of them passed and why I think their stories should be learning lessons, especially for us women in the Black community. Now, I just want to speak facts. Black community, whether we want to accept it or not, uh, I don't want to say set the bar, but we are like that standard, right? Why do women go get lip fillers for lips we have naturally? Or why do people go get booty implants and all of this stuff for things that most ethnic women are born with naturally? Mm-hmm. Either way, a woman, all of us are born with the same anatomy for the most part. Probably not the same DNA, but with the same anatomy. And that's what I love about the human race all the way around. At the end of the day, we all bleed blue, red. You know what I'm saying? Once their blood has had contact with oxygen and stuff like that. But my point is, why was it that Jackie O's story seemed to have got more coverage than Torie Bowie's? 1 second, guys. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. That's crazy, right? I had to take a whole break. Speaking of maternity, mortality, I had to go check on my baby real quick, which is a blessing because that's a little bit of what this topic is about when it comes to Torie Bowie today. Like, her baby didn't make it. Okay, so let's dive back in where I left off. I was just saying how I feel like the Jackie O DC Young Fly story did end up getting more coverage, more attention, more, exposure. I guess because of the whole plastic surgery, how she died, everybody's coming out saying, he must have been making her feel bad about her confidence, her body. She had 3 of his kids. It was a mommy makeover. Either way, something like that was a choice or a death that could have been prevented. And then let me get a little deeper about what I mean, because I feel like, yeah, pregnancy could be prevented, like in Torie Bowie's case. But let's keep her name alive, ladies, because there's some things about her story you might didn't know. Yes, childbirth is a choice. She was even so private with her business, though she had fame as a popular track star, which we're going to talk about some of her accomplishments in a second. She kept most of her personal life private, and that's why though reporters and everybody's looking for who the baby daddy is, it's like he's not even coming out. Maybe she didn't tell him, and that's another part of being a woman. Now look at it. She's gone. She didn't make it through that childbirth, and nobody know who the daddy is. No father is stepping up to give his grievances or condolences for this lady life. This is messed up. This is the stuff I'm talking about in the Black community, and we're going to talk about it today. Because I'm not saying she didn't deserve probably, or the family don't now. But, she had fans. When you're an Olympic star, you got young girls that look up to you, whether it's gymnastics or basketball. There are fans. There are people who, love you on and off the field or on and off the court, on wherever you playing your sport at. That would probably be interested in knowing your cause of death. And if it's something like a maternity, you die giving childbirth and you're a Black woman, I mean, that might be the next thing people look at. Well, where's dad? Did the baby make it? In Miss Torie Bowie's case, unfortunately, they're saying that the baby didn't make it. And she didn't either. So who is Miss Torie Bowie? It seems like everybody know who Jackie O is. If you don't know what's going on with that story or why I compared the two, why I said it felt like Jackie O's story got more coverage than Miss Torie Bowie's, you'll see when you go look up all the news there is to find about that. It's everywhere, right? Okay. So, y'all can go look at that. I'm more kind of trying to look at Torie Bowie right now. What happened to her, right? What happened to her? Thank y'all for that patience moment and understanding that slight pause I just had too. All right. So where was I at? So who is Miss Torie Bowie? She was a U.S. track star Olympian. I mean, it's so much about her story that, made me begin to recollect as a woman and everything too, because it is what it is. Those that know me outside of Crown Publishing content, track was that exact track and field, was that exact, you know what I'm saying, program I also participated in. As a matter of fact, I had a full ride scholarship to go run track. I don't know if y'all want to know where. Should I put that out there? McMurray University in Abilene, Texas. Was it not McMurray? It's been so many years, guys. I believe Abilene Christian. So yes, I don't know. I used to be a whole health junkie and athlete. Athleticism will do that to you. You know what I'm saying? More on my health back then, lifting weights, because that's what it takes. Strengthen them legs, strengthen that gut, strengthen them arms. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're trying to make it on Olympian level. Okay. So, Miss Bowie was born in Sand Hill, Mississippi, August 27, 1990. And unfortunately, we lost her. Some reports are saying April 23rd, others are saying May 2nd, but it definitely was this year and it was recently. This was another Black woman who died of childbirth. Apparently, Torie stressed through her whole pregnancy, not to her coach, but to her agent, that she did not, by all or any means, want to deliver her first baby, her baby in general, at a hospital. Okay. Her agent's name was Kim Holland, according to People, an article published by People recently that I will share in the comments after I'm done with this live stream. Y'all go check it out. People has been more covering her story, right? People magazine and everything. People published a separate article recently in 2022. I believe it was October 2022. Y'all can go look this up. And the title of this article is Babies Born to Black Moms Are 4 Times Likely to Die as Newborns if they get, if they conceive the baby through that infertility treatment thing. I forgot the name of it. But that was a very interesting article and study I was looking at too. It's crazy. Like you wouldn't think something like that affects cultures of people, but they're saying Black women that have come in for these fertility treatments and, trying to conceive a baby because they can't on their own, the newborns of these moms are more likely to die. So yes, guys, they're saying she passed. It was either, because like I say, all the research and articles I'm looking at, more of them say May 2nd, 2023. But then I've seen some that say April 23rd. I don't know what the inconsistency is with that. Maybe just the bloggers. We talked about that on another video I did recently. Headlines that turn heads, and how sometimes those headlines don't add up to the story you read it all. And when we're looking at stuff like this and somebody passed, you kind of want, the information to be reliable. So that's crazy. That's why I'm becoming a blogger myself, because the ones out here, not all of them, it's like, man, how are y'all going to be inconsistent with the day she died? Come on, man. Who was she? Miss Bowie, when she started her career, she started at the University of Southern Mississippi as a track and field star and worked her way up to Olympian status for the country of the United States. Okay. She participated in won medals in the Olympics. And events like long jump, 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash. Sounds like Miss Bowie was a sprinter. Most definitely. She was a sprinter. And it says she won awards or medals in long jump as well. So long jump, 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash. She won a silver medal in the 100-meter dash, bronze in the 200-meter dash at the 2016 Rio Olympics. In 2017, she competed in a world championship track and field event and won gold as a part of the U.S. women's 4x100 relays in both 2016 Olympics and 2017 World Championships. So she was very notorious, you know what I'm saying, for her work, which was as a track and field star Olympian. Yes, guys, she was a Black woman by the name of Miss Torie Bowie. Let's remember her name, okay? Why? Because if her cause of death is evoking emotions in Black women around the world, it's probably because mortality rates with childbirth with Black women are pretty much the highest. Let's talk about some statistics real quick. And that's crazy, y'all. Like, we were created to have babies. We were created to deliver them. And our body, for the most part, can do what it needs to do. Did y'all hear me just say that her agent is coming out now saying that she had repeatedly made it known to people through her pregnancy that she didn't want to go to a hospital? And we're about to talk about this a little deeper after I talk about some statistics, because things are getting crazy if A mother no longer has a choice of how she wants her baby to come into this world. And if she does decide, because it's only a choice, let's remember that, to go to the hospital and deliver your baby. Because, man, facts are facts. They're going to shoot you up with drugs and give your babies all kind of immunizations. I mean, you're just practically putting your trust in the hands of doctors and nurses and care when you do decide to check into a hospital and have a baby. So, according to people.com, as of April 2021, the maternity mortality rate in the U.S. was the highest among developed countries, and Black women were 2.5 times more likely to die from complications of pregnancy or childbirth than white women, and this is according to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC. Despite research that has found that 60% of all maternal deaths can be prevented, a total of 658 women alone in the U.S. died of maternal causes. This was in 2018. According to a 2020 study, and where am I getting this information? I'm going to share the article. This is an article published by People at the latter end of 2022. Miss Torie Bowie died of childbirth. Keep up with me. According to a 2020 study, Black newborns in the United States are more likely to survive childbirth when they are cared for by Black doctors. I'm going to read that one more time. And People published this article. According to a 2020 study, Black newborns in the United States are more likely to survive childbirth, not the pregnancy, childbirth, when they are cared for Black doctors. While Black newborns cared for by white doctors are 3 times more likely to die. There's something not right with that. I'm going to give a moment of silence too for a second. The study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that the race of the doctor did not have an effect on the mortality rate for white babies. According to this article, researchers wrote the largest decrease in mortality rate was in complex birth. Black babies born in more complicated cases were far more likely to survive with a Black doctor. I mean, People published this, y'all. Keep listening. The mortality rate also significantly decreased at hospitals that deliver more Black newborns. Okay. So that is just a lot. Before I even get back to talking about Torie Bowie again, this is just what it is, y'all. These are the times we're living in, Black mothers. People is published the article themselves saying that 60% of all maternal deaths are preventable. So why is it that when Black women are in the care of white doctors, these babies are dying? Or the women are dying? It's been happening too long. I'm not the first person to speak on it. But what did I say in the beginning of the stream? It is evoking emotions across the globe. Because why? She was an Olympian. And just imagine, I hate to say it this way, imagine winning gold medals for your country, but your country failing you in your choice, your opinion of how you want to bring your baby into the world. Okay? Not only how you want to, because it's so many stories, y'all, going around out here. I wish I had more people in the chat real quick, because this is really a serious topic. More and more women are coming out saying, case battles and cases that they're having a fight with either Child Protective Services, Centers for Disease Control, all these people getting in their business, doctors trying to tell them how they should deliver their child that they made. Hold on. Then you had the Roe versus Wade deal this same time last summer. Miss Torie Bowie just died now. I'm speaking on her behalf and for Black women across the globe that are losing their lives, especially in America, because they feel like they can just trust a doctor of any race. And actually, I'm so glad that I'm led to speak on this tonight, because I think that's what I'm going to do. Like, it's cool for me to give my opinion, but we need doctors on here. We need doctors. We need somebody from the CDC. We need, for sure, confirmation, because I bet it's a few people out here who still don't think this is real. Black babies are dying. Black women are dying. in public hospitals trying to give birth. Something that is just a natural thing that humans do. This is how we recreate. This is how we procreate and everything, right? So, she was 5'9", 128 pounds. This is before the pregnancy. And I hate what I was hearing when it came to how much she weighed. I'm going to let y'all go look at that. How much she weighed at her time of death. And I'm not blaming that on the doctor or anybody. Her agent even said, Miss Kim Holland said, told NBC that she remembers actually trying to encourage Miss Torie Bowie in her third trimester to begin eating more. Maybe she just wasn't a big eater. Y'all know how that is. You might not have just a big appetite, which might be hard to believe at 3 months pregnant, probably because she's stressed. Y'all heard him saying already that she couldn't find, not that she couldn't find a baby daddy, but there's no known father stepping up to just claim the baby mother that was just lost her life and the baby. That is sad to me, y'all. So we don't know what she was stressing about, but I'm not going to say the number. Y'all go look it up, what they were saying, how much she weighed in her third trimester. Because it was nowhere near 128. And then me, outside of pregnancy, just soaking wet, probably about 112 pounds. And if I could go from 112 to 158 pounds, by the time of delivery, what was going on with Miss Torie's story? Like, to me, she had to be in stress or going through some other stressful factors during that pregnancy. Already probably tried to voice this. We already heard she was trying to tell her agent, I don't want to have my baby at the hospital. Her first baby, y'all. See, because when you know better, you do better. Miss Torie probably had already researched the gruesome, horrifying stories of Black women giving birth. Even though she's an Olympian, famous track star, this is how she felt about bringing her first baby into the world. So I wonder what probably happened too. Did she go to a hospital, at least try to check it out, talk to doulas and things like that? What led her to the decision that she wanted to have her baby at home? And if that's what she wanted to do, what happened before she could even get to that process, right? So her third trimester of pregnancy, that date, May 2nd, 23, they say they found her, y'all, in her place of residency in the state of Florida, deceased. And this part, what they call it, like, not a spoiler alert, trigger alert. Okay, this next piece of information I'm going to put out there. Neighbors of Miss Torie Bowie reported that she seemed erratic and troubled. This was just nights before she was supposedly found deceased in her apartment. Something not right. All I'm asking is what happened to her. Let's talk about it. She seemed erratic and troubled, holding a knife on the street, shouting and screaming in the middle of the night. This is what her neighbors reported about this Olympian. Days before she was supposed to have this baby, or after she had the baby. I'm going to look into that because, like I said, it's not my fault that we go read these articles and there's so many inconsistencies. I'm just telling y'all what's being reported. They're saying cause of death was eclampsia, not pre-eclampsia, eclampsia. I believe pre-eclampsia is the sickness you get while you're carrying the baby, which can be dangerous too. You're seeing white spots and you feel funny. And ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about. But the eclampsia, I guess that would be after birth or whatever. So I believe she did have a baby. The baby just didn't make it or something. And then she died shortly thereafter. What do y'all think about that erratic and troubled behavior? Could it been because nobody was listening to her in the way that she wanted her baby to be delivered into this world? Was anybody listening to this Black woman when it came to the type of care she's telling them she needs? She's hurting. She's not feeling well after delivering the baby. They do say she was 8 months pregnant. And yes, as ladies know, you can end up going into labor at 8 months. I'm not understanding. We got a lot of babies that were born prematurely and still made it, y'all. So I'm not really understanding with this story, even though she had the baby at 8 months and woo. And her cause of death is eclampsia, which is supposed to be a rare but serious sickness pregnant women can get, from blood pressure to organ damage, swelling on the body, all that type of stuff comes with it. And it can be very fatal. Unfortunately, doctors know this. I don't think I have to say that. What is it with Black women and all the. Y'all didn't hear about the story last year? This woman had what, 15 kids? Pretty much she was on number, what, it was her youngest baby, but she had a lot of kids already. This woman was Black too. Rest in peace, ma'am. But all her kids were left her, I believe, with the grandmother and a few sisters she had. And it was a lot of kids. It was like 10, 11, 12 kids. But she had a newborn and died. But the newborn made it. And it was just another example of those stories. Like, what's going on? I'm going to read this one more time. Reported by People. Despite research that has found that 60% of all maternal deaths are preventable. 60% is a big number. A total of 658 Black women still died of maternal causes in 2018. This is 2023. So just imagine. All right. I'm going to speed through the rest of our session here, guys. I just wanted to kind of give y'all more to think about. A lot of the people on her team, too, her Olympic relay team, a lot of the ladies are also speaking up, and we understand on here at Crown Content Publications coming out saying things like, now I don't know if I want to have kids anymore. Is that the fear that they're trying to instill in us? I don't want to have kids anymore, because it's a beautiful thing to have a child, but when you start to feel like your right or your right to proper care is being tampered with, it will make you think, no, I'm not having no more. And what does that lead to? You got a shortage of more Black kids being born. And this is really sad. It's not a new topic, but I feel like it's a topic we should keep alive. I'm sure there's somebody going to have a baby tomorrow, because every time there's a death, there's a birth. That's how the universe works. And it's sad that I hope this is not some form of population control. Or it's sad. And Jackie O, dying of the plastic surgery, leaving her a plastic surgery and everything, also left 3 surviving children. I always hate to hear those type of stories, man, about our women in the Black community. So that second story I just wanted to cover and give an update while I'm on live tonight. They did finally find the remains to the name of that submarine, guys, was Ocean Gate. Well, that was the name of the company that allowed these tours, because somebody might click on my video, this their first time hearing it. Apparently, Ocean Gate allows their customers to be able to pay a certain fee to go down to the bottom of the ocean and, go on a tour of the Titanic. Yet these 5 that went recently, about 3-4 days ago, they just went off radar. They couldn't find them. So they went out there to do a search, and they just been searching for the people for 3 or 4 days, y'all. And I'm one of those that was keeping up with that story, because I think all of us could feel that way. Like, it just seemed like a very tragic story, right? Because Titanic alone was. And then we had to hear later the name of the little mission that they went on was called Titan. It's so much conspiracy around this right now. So anyways, my only advice and reason of teaching a lesson out of that with the submarine story, guys, like, let's reconsider what we consider adventure, for sure. If you just want to go see grave sites way at the bottom of the water, or you want to go to, we got to really, because it was another story. Some man fell off the Grand Canyon tour the other day. He fell to his death. I don't think this stuff is a game, but you got the companies behind the scenes, making all this money on people, wanting to come do these adventures. And I believe they sign waivers, they sign contracts. It's something to think about if you value your life today. It's just a life lesson out of these tragedy stories. Let's think about it. Most tourism, safari trips and stuff like that, you can pay your money all day long and be able to afford to go on stuff like that. But is it worth your life? Because you only get one. Why would you go on something as dangerous as a safari trip? They be in these open buses and vans and stuff with no doors or windows on them, just riding through the safari with wild lions and tigers and monkeys that's really not going to play with you if you mess with them wrong. You get in their way. Some of them are they're in the wild for a reason. We come and mess with their territories and call it a tragedy when something happens to us human beings. And that's how I looked at the submarine story as well. Like now, I don't do, like, my kids, I don't know if they ever want to go to SeaWorld, we're not going. They gonna have to do that later. And I told my kids why I feel that way. And even at the ages they are at 12, 9, and 8, they were like, Mommy, I didn't know that. We watched videos about it, how they take these killer whales out of the ocean and pretty much jail them into these big theme parks to make $1. And I let my daughters watch that, how there have been killer whales drag people to the bottom of those tanks too. And we want to call them the killers. It's crazy, but we be in territories we have no business, jumping out of airplanes in the sky. If you're not like in the Air Force or something that is a contributable thing to do, something that, like, why would you just go out there and do that for adventure? And as bad as I want to get on a hot air balloon, I don't think I'm going to do that either. I mean, the stories we've been seeing today, I mean, that's pretty adventurous, but it's just one of those tourist trips that if you do say, yeah, I'm pay your money, they're going to definitely have you sign a contract or something like, hey, yes, I do understand I could die doing this. And that the liability is not the company's if I do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm wondering if that submarine thing was like that. Now, I know I've seen some stories where it's saying that the owner of the company most definitely warned them, but what is a warning? Did you have them sign something? Most people are just following this story to try to see what's going to happen with the surviving family, what's going to happen with that company, So that's that story. Let us learn from that. What the best things in life are free anyway. An adventure that cost me $250,000, it's probably not a real adventure. I said what I said. I feel like, in my opinion, the best things in life are free. God made them that way for a reason. And it's not until we see people want to go visit the top skyscraper in New York and somebody fall off, or they taking the kids to the zoo, a child falls in the alligator pit and stuff like this. Like, how much adventure is too much? It's just a question. But rest in peace to those. They say, guys, they found a remain to the submarine. They found the remains to them. It definitely, I don't know. I don't personally think there's hope for them finding the bodies and stuff. Ain't no telling where them bodies gonna float. I don't know. But they said imploded because it went down so deep, and after you get under so much pressure in that water, it could explode your lungs. It's gonna explode whatever's trying to go further than it should. So that's a very unfortunate story. We will never know. I know people are out here saying, man, it's probably a Netflix movie coming soon, a book, all this type of stuff. That's crazy. That's the first thing people think about. But are we learning the life lesson that we should out of it? How much adventure is just too much. I don't care how. They said them people on that sub was wealthy, paid big money to go view the Titanic. But that's just where I'm going to leave it. How much adventure is too much? Having a baby, like we was talking about with Torie Bowie, that's an adventure too, but it's like a natural one. And we should not, as Black women, be out here dying, subjecting ourselves to death, trusting doctors that statistics time after time after time are showing us they don't know what they're doing. They don't, or something, or they don't care as much when it comes to the Black women and the Black babies, in these public hospitals. So I hope we see a law or something change here soon. They quick to jump on telling us whether we can and cannot abort. So why are these same type of rights not there, you know, in the medical health field when it comes to childbirth? That's my question. And then on the aliens, I guess I'll just save that for another time, though, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in to another live stream with the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel, where publishing and marketing meet. Leave your opinions in the comments. And I'm just going to come on here with my nightly live chats every night, segments, podcast discussion topics, you know, outside of publishing, because I do miss doing it. And I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy for you guys' support. But let's remember that, ladies. I feel like we shouldn't have to feel like we don't want to have babies anymore because stuff is getting this bad, y'all. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Leave your opinion in the comments. I am going to share a few articles in the comments section. If you don't see them tonight, they'll be on there by the morning. I'm going to share some more information pertaining to the things I was speaking on. If you have any story you like to see me cover, talk about, because I am going to start doing my reactions on the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel, you know, where we show our videos and I just react, because I feel like I always thought I would be great at doing it. My reactions when I read something do be that immediate too, so I think y'all are going to love it. But that's separate from our publishing services and that type of work. You want to, you want to keep up with our poetry contests, all the other stuff too. You definitely want to subscribe. Okay, opportunities for writers, tips for writers, things like that. Thank you guys for your support, and until next time.